Are there further motions to take note of answers? Senator Whish-Wilson.
Thank you, Deputy President. I rise to take note of answers to my question relating to the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement in the US. Senator Payne was right that there's cut and thrust on this issue in the US. There certainly has been now for many months. In fact, this is the single biggest political issue in the US Congress at the moment, and has been for the last 6 weeks at least. My question is, where is the cut and thrust here in Australia? Where is the cut and thrust on this debate? Why isn't it in the mainstream media? Why isn't Parliament here in Australia debating concerns, A, around lack of democratic input by Parliament and the Australian people into these secret partnership agreements? Now, they're not trade agreements. They're called partnership agreements for a reason. And what they do is attempt to synchronise laws and regulations between countries. For all intents and purposes, they are deregulation agendas. Now, you would at least expect that matters of significant public interest and negotiations that impact those would be looked at by our Parliament. But, as we've mentioned in here several times before, this deal will be signed by Cabinet, it will be immediately politicised, and then it will be put through the J. Scott process, and we'll have a month to look at it. But we cannot change it. We can vote for it or against it, and that's only the enabling legislation. We can't change anything. That's simply unacceptable. In the US, the debate right now is to whether they will give President Obama the right, the power that he needs to fast-track it through the US Congress and sign it without parliamentary scrutiny. But at least they're having that debate. That is democracy at work. It is robust. There is no reason that this government shouldn't comply with the Senate's orders to release the text of the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, which Labor supported this, the crossbenchers supported this, and to claim national interest immunity, that somehow releasing the text of a secret deal that's going to impact on every aspect of Australian life with no parliamentary scrutiny, negotiated behind closed doors, driven by big corporations and foreign governments, that somehow releasing that is not in our national interest. I can't think of anything right now that affects our national interest more than a deal like the TPP. Every single aspect of our life will be impacted. 29 chapters. So, Senator Payne, when I got invited by Andrew Robb to view the text of the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, I read that in the paper. No one invited me to view the text. Suddenly my name was in national newspapers that I'd been shown the text. So I did think about that offer. And as I said today, I've got children and I know you shouldn't reward bad behaviour. And why would I cement the secrecy around this deal and be part of that by signing a 4-year confidentiality agreement so I, as a parliamentarian elected by the Australian people, can't do my job? I have a look at these secret texts and then I get gagged. That's not what I signed up for. So my call has always consistently been to release the text. And as a compromise, through the order of production of documents, it was the final draft text that needs to be shown to Parliament and the Australian people before it is signed. Now, our treaty process is under review, and I really hope that the Defence and Foreign Affairs and Trade Committee will recommend we need to radically overhaul our treaty process in this country. It has not kept pace. It has not kept pace with developments in trade deals in the last 30 years. It's over 100 years old. Trade is not what it used to be if you believe these are trade deals. They are not. They are deregulation agendas, and we're about to enter an even bigger one, the Trades in Services Agreement. And as far as these clauses, ISDS clauses, that give corporations the right to sue us as parliamentarians if we make a law in the public interest and it impacts on their profits. Why are we going down this road? It's a shame I couldn't ask that question to Senator Brandis, because the Chief Justice of the High Court, Justice French, said that the legal fraternity needs to immediately debate this in this country. This is not the road we want to go down. They're only at risk They add nothing to investment flows between countries. They are redundant. 30 years ago, Senator Payne, when they were brought in, they had a purpose around misappropriation of assets. They no longer have that purpose. We need to get rid of them, we need to ban them from trade deals, and we need to release this text so we can do our job as parliamentarians and act in the public interest, not in the interest of big corporations.
Senator, your time has expired.